Hey there, I hope you're doing well. My name is Adam and today we're going to look at some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy Reddit stories, consider liking, subscribing, and maybe hitting that notification bell too. Let's get started with today's first story. Much love, everyone. Today's first story comes from girlfriend announces pregnancy, but everyone knows I'm infertile, shocking reaction. My partner, 34 female, and I, 28 male, have been together for 5 years. She has a daughter preteen from a previous relationship. Right off the bat, it was made known I had fertility issues and likely would never be able to father a child, so I moved slowly in the relationship. Although I had fallen in love with her fast, when things got serious, I overheard her telling her sister she was concerned that I might be an aggressive type of person because of the number of scars I have. I didn't want her scared away, so I told her I had a lousy childhood and left it at that. A little over 2 years into our relationship, I felt comfortable opening up for the first time. I told her exactly why I was infertile, which directly resulted from an injury I'd suffered. She was really empathetic, and I was just thankful I had found the one I wanted to spend my life with. That also came with a kid I adore. Fast forward to last summer, my partner and her friend decided to plan an impromptu prank on me. I came home from work and found multiple positive pregnancy tests in the bathroom. My partner announced she was pregnant, and I started freaking out, a happy freak out because I thought I had hit the lottery with the slim to no chance I had. They both started laughing, and the tests were from the friend and not my partner. I was devastated and felt really let down that my partner would pull a prank like that at first. She was shocked by my reaction and said, "I thought you'd know it was a joke considering your circumstances." She ended up apologizing after realizing how hurt I was. Now for the point of the post. 3 weeks ago, she arranged a huge dinner with her entire family at our house. She had us play this stupid mystery game and ultimately announced to everyone she was pregnant. Her mother and sisters were deliriously happy. Immediately, I got angry, thinking this was yet another prank, so I showed no emotions, which everyone caught on to. I said to my partner, "Either you're just mentally disturbed or you're cheating." That's pretty much when everything broke loose. My partner's point of view is that she was sincerely apologetic about the prank and I should know her well enough not to think she'd ever pull that stunt again. However, she's also livid at me for ruining the announcement, embarrassing her in front of her entire family, causing them to think I'm a horrible person, and then finally insinuating that she's a cheater. I still stand by the claim that, had she never pranked me, my reaction would have been different. I do find it odd she decided to tell me along with her family. Things would have likely gone over better had she told me first and then we announced it together. But I'm starting to think I acted immaturely, causing a scene in front of her family, and I think that maybe that's where I'm wrong. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. That prank was just beyond cruel, and then to announce it with everyone and not tell you privately is insensitive and immature. Your reaction was to be expected. I see both of these as red flags for your relationship. Congrats on the baby, though, although I'm sure you'll have doubts until the paternity test happens. It's like cheating on someone, then getting mad at them for thinking you might be cheating on them again. Saying sorry doesn't erase your crappy actions and it doesn't just magically repair the trust you deliberately destroyed. She seems supernaturally immature. I hope this works out, but I would have left after that awful prank. She cried wolf and it backfired. Honestly, it's odd to me that she decided to surprise you at the same moment as her family. Even without your history, I find that a bit insensitive as it should have been a private moment for you two first. But especially given your history and the prank, it should not have been public. Your girlfriend sounds attention-seeking and surely has the empathy of a moldy potato. If it weren't for the kid on the way, I'd tell you to run away from her as fast as you can. I thought she was cheating and the prank was a way to soft break then used to see his reaction and put it out there that it could happen. Beware OP, get that paternity test ASAP. She might be scamming you. This would make sense. She cheated, got pregnant, and expected her infertile boyfriend to react badly and accuse her of cheating, giving her an out where she looks like the innocent party. When, instead, he was just ecstatic, she panicked and pretended it was a prank. The next time, a public announcement, only now she's prepared for that, and OP reacted the way she needed. And now her family can all agree he's a terrible person, and she's free to leave him and find a new daddy for her baby. And one might just be waiting in the aisle, ready to white knight it. My wife inherited her parents' house when they moved. When they first bought the lands and built the house, the people already living behind them had made a riding trail for their dirt bikes. The backyard is less than 1 acre, and their trail comes into the yard about 75 feet and goes across the yard. Her parents had no issue with this and let the kids keep riding through, so now the whole family has dirt bikes and rides through. When we moved, my wife told them it was okay to keep doing this. The issue began when I started working from home. It was a 1.5-hour drive to my office. My wife didn't like me driving that long, and by the time I got home in the evenings, it was late, and I wouldn't get all my share of household work done between eating, showering, and spending time with her. So I put it off until my days off, which caused a lot of fights between us. So the solution we came up with was I took a pay cut and worked from home since there were no career opportunities closer for me. You can hear them clearly in the house when they ride their dirt bikes. It caused me a lot of issues during business calls and conferences. I've closed all the doors and windows. There's no other room I can use for my office. I've tried talking to my wife about it several times, and my wife has been home a few times where I've had to push a meeting back by a couple of hours, drive to my office to handle business, then go home. My wife refused to tell them that they couldn't use the back ends of our yard anymore because they've been doing it for so long. So I went and talked to the neighbors about it. I told them what was going on and asked them to please call to see if I had any meetings or calls scheduled before they started riding. That worked for about a week until they talked to my wife about it, and she apparently told them they didn't have to do that. So once again, it's noise during the daytime when I'm trying to work. I feel like I've exhausted all my options in finding a better solution to this. So I filed a police report over the neighbors trespassing to get it to stop. They have stopped, but now my wife is livid with me for being a bad neighbor and going over her head over a silly matter. Am I the idiot? Edit, she put me on the deed and is on the deeds of the house I owned before we married, so she's not the sole owner. You are the idiot 100% for filing a complaint against someone doing something they were permitted to do. Figure your crap out with your wife and leave your neighbors out of it until you've agreed on their use of the backyard. Not the idiot, I think filing the complaint was perhaps a little overboard, but it's definitely not an idiot move because the neighbors and wife are much bigger idiots here. Your wife cares more about neighbors doing a recreational activity than her husband's actual employment. She obviously sucks the most, and the neighbors know they're interfering with your job to ride their bikes. It's not like you even said never again, just ask first. Honestly, I would have serious issues with my spouse over this. Siding with your neighbors over you in this when their need is so obviously less important than your need is a huge, major red flag. Agree. They just went with the answer they wanted to hear. Even though OP's wife said they didn't have to call, they knew OP asked them to do so. They knew OP was mad about it. So what did they assume? The next steps were OP just gives up, OP comes over and tells them again. Do they just ignore him again? They knew exactly what they were doing. They were banking on OP being a much nicer guy than them. They gambled and lost. This is what I was thinking. They went over his head because they didn't like his decision and ran to the doormat wife, knowing she would feel guilty because they've always done it and let them do whatever they wanted and keep disrespecting the needs of OP. It's disgusting behavior. Everyone's the idiot here. What a weird setup you have. Your wife wants you to work from home, but then allows the neighbors to make it impossible to work from home. Why is your wife so mad that the neighbors can't ride their bikes on your property? I don't know why your wife isn't supportive. You and your wife have some serious issues. My 22 male, girlfriend 21, works in chemical synthesis. It may sound cool, but it's about the equivalent of a tedious 9-to-5 office job, but just in a laboratory. Instead, we live together and commute together, dating for 2 years. My girlfriend is beautiful. She has natural beauty, and while she's not the girliest of girls, she usually wears some makeup every day. Nothing too glam, just simple and honest, like concealer for blemishes, a little bit of eyeliner, that's it. She still looks gorgeous, and I love her as she is. Recently, I've noticed she started wearing more makeup with things like pink or red lip gloss or glittery eyeshadow of non-natural colors, or highlighter to work. I was a bit confused as I don't see the point because her work requires her to wear a lab coat and goggles and long pants and things that, in general, don't require her to make a whole look of her appearance since she wears protective stuff over it. When I asked her about it, she said it was just her way of having fun daily by doing some nice makeup. She doesn't have many coworkers, and she says a lot of the work she does in the lab is just her own. So it's just something she does for herself for fun each day. But the thing is, I know she has at least one male coworker, and many, if not all, of the higher-ups that she communicates with in her department are middle-aged men. She works very closely and frequently with her mentor, a man in his 40s as well, and she speaks very highly and fondly of him. I worry that they'll see her being all glammed up and get the wrong idea. I suggested that she wear less makeup to work and return to her normal routine because she looks pretty that way, and I don't want her giving the men the wrong ideas. I feel like my request was reasonable and casual, but when I asked, she went timid and quiet and has been since. Now I'm starting to wonder, am I the idiot? You are the idiot, it's just makeup. If she likes it, there's no harm to it. Do you seriously believe wearing more makeup gives others the wrong idea, such as flirting or hitting on them? What's next, she can't wear certain clothes? Don't die on this hill. Apologize and respect her right to what she wants to wear. Work on your insecurities about wearing makeup. Isn't cheating my favorite part was? I don't want her giving men the wrong ideas, so your problem here is with men, huh? Maybe you should tell the men you know to stop judging women on their makeup rather than expecting your girlfriend to change who she is. My favorite part is him putting down his girlfriend's career in less than 3 sentences into his post. Your insecurities are not hers to manage. Nothing about your request was reasonable. Instead, you shamed your girlfriend for having the audacity to do something that she enjoys, boost her self-esteem, and essentially called her a tease. Grow up. I, 28 female, and married to Nick, 30 male. I work from home and earn significantly more than Nick, as he decided to pursue his education and is currently in an apprenticeship. My parents' old 4-bedroom house was gifted to me when I turned 18, and where we now live, as they had to move in with my nan due to her health back then. So now they have her house, which is significantly bigger. After the sale and before meeting Nick, I did a full renovation for it to look more modern. Currently, Nick and I have joined savings for a new and better house, and I also have a decent amount that I saved myself. As the house is a gift and mortgage-free, we only pay the bills, which allows us to save more. In no way or form are we struggling for money and are still able to afford holidays and such. Now, Nick came from a large family, and since the global issue ended about a year ago, they started coming to see us and staying over every other week. It got to the point where I felt cramped in my own house due to how many people there were and how much space they took. Sometimes they overstay their welcome, making it nearly impossible for me to work or concentrate on my hobbies. Of course, I'm not mentioning the amount of cooking and tidying up when they're staying or after they left. Last time, I decided I had enough, took some time off work, and converted the smaller bedroom into an office/gaming room with a library space and a cozy sofa for me to chill. I finished soundproofing it just before this weekend. Nick noticed my workstation had gone but hadn't asked anything. Last weekend, my in-laws came in again, and I told Nick some would have to book a hotel as we don't have space. That's when he saw my office. He and his family got upset, and they decided to stay at the hotel instead. It was a godsend to be able to relax in my own house for once. Over the weekend, I was able to catch up with some work too. Yesterday, after they left, Nick called me an idiot for setting up an office and not telling him anything. He also demanded that I return to my previous arrangement and convert it into a bedroom. I've reminded him that I work from home and need a quiet space to work, as well as my parents' house, and he has never asked me if I'm okay with his family being over so much. Nick has been sleeping in one of the spare bedrooms and has stopped talking to me. Apparently, he thinks I've crossed the line and am an idiot for saying that about his family. Am I the idiot? Edit. The normal visiting bunch are my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and 6 underage, under 18, siblings. He has over 18 siblings who visit, but they usually stay Thursday to Monday, which is typically 1 or 2 at a time. They do games most of the time, together with my husband, which is another reason why I need a separate office space, as they're just too loud. Not the idiot. Nick can take his part of the savings and go live with his parents. How disrespectful of him to have his family there constantly without discussing it with you and then telling you to change your office space back. No. It seems like he's just taking advantage of you. He should be cleaning up after his own family, considering how much you both are saving, because the house doesn't have a mortgage and because he can do what he wants to do without having to worry about finances. By the time I got to the list of visitors, I thought they were lucky. You didn't put up an electric fence and hire 24/7 security. I feel like they're massively teasing your hospitality, including Nick, especially since you're cleaning up after them. I'm pretty sure his family doesn't need to come and visit every other weekend. Not the idiot. Your office sounds lovely, especially the soundproofing. Yeah, he's sleeping in the spare bedroom and not talking to her now. Also, the disrespect and lack of care about her feelings are huge, and he's trying to manipulate her into giving in emotionally. Your husband is treating you horribly. Last week, delivery men were at my house to deliver a long-awaited sofa purchase. 2 men came into my house and seemed friendly enough. I showed them what they needed to do. Remove a sectional and unpack a sofa and an oversized chair into my living room while they were at the truck and coming back into my house. A man hollered, "Ma'am, did you want your cat to come in?" I yelled, "I don't have a cat, I'm also allergic to them," and was leaving town in a few hours. They indicated that the cat had gone upstairs, that it was a tabby cat, and that it had just run in. I heard it meow several times during the 30 minutes that the men were in my house. I heard them meowing but couldn't find it anywhere. I was running all over the house, sweating and frantic at one point. The workers helped me look for the cat, but it was nowhere to be found. Then, as the men were leaving and I was signing paperwork, the 2 men finally fessed up that they were the ones making the cat noises. There was no cat at all. I became distressed, but they laughed after telling me that they also played this joke on other women. They thought they were hilarious, a modern-day Laurel and Hardy. When my husband heard the story, he insisted on calling the store and talking to the owner. Am I the idiot for allowing my husband to complain about the workers and potentially getting them fired? Not the idiot. Please follow up and get them in trouble at work. This is grossly unprofessional, and after seeing how frantic you were about it, they should have realized. They went too far. I'm worried this could escalate with bigger and bigger pranks until someone gets hurt. You paid them for a service, not a day of stress. Exactly, she literally spent half an hour frantically searching for a fake cat. This was not funny, wasted her time and stressed her out. That's a very bizarre prank, makes me uncomfortable. Do your job and get out of the house. So weird, totally unprofessional and immature. Are you sure these guys didn't have a reason to distract you for 30 minutes? Why would they want you running around looking for a cat? Were they casing the place looking for things to come back and steal? Very suspicious, as it's not even a remotely funny joke. All the above: unprofessional, immature, suspicious, risk of having cameras planted, and potential burglars, cat burglars. What caught my attention was they played this joke on other women as well. It sounds like they have a specific type of target. It's not a prank, it was a power play. I highly doubt they would do this to a male. They seem to get off on harassing women while doing their job. Not only should you have filed a complaint, but they should be fired and get a 1-star review on everything for this. I'm going to turn this one over to you. What do you make of this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support, and time mean the world to me. So, thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate your time. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.